The relationship between Thragg and Conquest may not have been explored in the show, as there are only 2 scenes with them both in it, but it becomes far more interesting the deeper it is examined, because it is not built on mutual understanding, but on projection, hierarchy, and fundamentally incompatible inner worlds. What appears on the surface to be a simple chain of command, leader and enforcer, actually reveals a tragic disconnect between what each represents and what each might have needed. From Thragg's perspective, Conquest is not merely a subordinate, he is an idealized extension of Viltrumite doctrine. Thragg's entire worldview is structured around strength as the ultimate measure of worth. Power is not just a trait, it is morality, legitimacy, and destiny. In this framework, Conquest stands out as perhaps the closest living embodiment of what a Viltrumite should be. Overwhelmingly strong, unrelenting, and completely effective as an instrument of domination.
These creatures, their strength is not true strength. Weakness is an offense to the natural order of the universe.
While other Viltrumites may possess loyalty, intelligence, or discipline, Conquest represents something more primal and absolute, pure, uninhibited supremacy. Because of this, Thragg almost certainly views Conquest as the second strongest Viltrumite, the only one even approaching his level. That alone commands respect in Viltrumite terms. But more importantly, Thragg likely interprets Conquest's brutality not as excess, but as purity. Where others might see sadism, Thragg may see efficiency stripped of hesitation. Where others might see chaos, Thragg may interpret clarity, violence unburdened by doubt. In this way, Thragg does not merely value Conquest, he misreads him, elevating him into something ideological rather than recognizing him as something psychological as a person. This misinterpretation becomes especially clear in Thragg's reaction to the death of Conquest at the hands of Mark Grayson. When Mark claims responsibility, Thragg is not outraged or vengeful, he is intrigued.
I killed Conquest! I'll kill you too!
Show me.
For someone like Conquest to fall, the victor must represent a new apex of strength. Thragg expects to witness overwhelming dominance, a display that aligns with his belief that power must be absolute and undeniable. Instead, what he finds is something far less satisfying to his worldview. Mark did not defeat Conquest through superior brute force alone, but through endurance, desperation, and ultimately by choking the life out of him. This method matters deeply to Thragg. It suggests that Conquest was not simply overpowered but worn down and finished in a way that feels to Thragg inelegant, almost unworthy. It challenges the idea that strength is clean, decisive, and hierarchical. In that moment, Thragg's disappointment is not just in Mark, but in the contradiction itself. If Conquest, his presumed ideal, could be defeated in such a manner, then perhaps the purity of Viltrumite strength is not as absolute as he believes.
You're never breathing again!
I'm not impressed.
Yet Thragg does not revise his worldview. Instead, he dismisses the nuance. He continues to hold on to the belief that Conquest represented something closer to himself than reality would suggest. Because in truth, Conquest is almost the antithesis of Thragg, not in power, but in purpose. Where Thragg is disciplined, Conquest is indulgent. Where Thragg sees Conquest as a means of enforcing order and ensuring the survival of his species, Conquest sees it as an excuse to indulge in his deepest impulses. He does not fight because he believes in Viltrumite supremacy. He fights because he enjoys pain, chaos, and domination on a personal, almost intimate level. His cruelty is not ideological, it is emotional, even recreational. This distinction is crucial because it means that Thragg's respect for Conquest is built on a false assumption. Thragg believes Conquest is aligned with him in philosophy, when in reality Conquest operates almost entirely outside of it.
Not here to spread the greatness of the Viltrum Empire. Yes. No greater pleasure than feeling the warmth of my fists drenched in blood.
He obeys the Empire, but not because he reveres it. He follows orders, but not because he believes in their necessity. The Empire simply provides him with endless opportunities to do what he already desires. And yet, despite this, Conquest's view of Thragg introduces another layer of complexity. Conquest does not respect Thragg's ideology. He respects his strength. Thragg is the only being above him in the hierarchy, the only one who can command him, and therefore the only one who matters in a meaningful way. In a culture where power defines reality, Thragg is the closest thing Conquest has to a fixed point. But there is also something deeper beneath that respect, something quieter and more conflicted. Conquest's speech about his loneliness suggests that, despite his outward sadism, he possesses a degree of self-awareness that even Thragg may lack.
I am so lonely. All the other Viltrumites are scared of me.
It is done. I will not repeat myself.
No one wants to be my friend. Yes, Grand Regent. I don't even get a real name. Only a purpose.
He recognizes that he is isolated, that he is feared, or at least perceived as such, and that he has been reduced to a function rather than acknowledged as an individual. His lack of a personal name reinforces this. He is not someone, but something. A title, a role, a weapon. However, even this perception may be flawed. Viltrumites are not a socially expressive species. They do not form bonds easily, nor do they seek companionship in the way humans do. What Conquest interprets as fear may actually be indifference, or simply the absence of social engagement. Other Viltrumites may not avoid him out of terror, but because connection itself is not part of their nature. Thragg, in particular, exemplifies this. He does not fear Conquest. He simply does not see him beyond his utility. To Thragg, Conquest is valuable precisely because he can be sent away, unleashed upon distant worlds to carry out the Empire's will with maximum efficiency.
They send me from planet to planet committing atrocities in their name. I was ordered to take control of Earth by any means necessary. I am a victim of my own success. This has been an immense joy.
In Thragg's mind, this is not dismissal. It is trust. It is recognition of Conquest's unique capability. But from Conquest's perspective, this same dynamic may feel like abandonment. There is a strong implication that Conquest might have wanted something more, though he likely lacks the emotional language to fully articulate it. Perhaps he wanted proximity to Thragg, the only being he acknowledges as superior. Perhaps he wanted to remain on Viltrum, not as a roaming weapon, but as a constant presence, an enforcer, an advisor, even a right-hand figure. Not out of loyalty in the traditional sense, but out of a desire for recognition, for identity beyond endless violence. Thragg, however, would never interpret this correctly. To him, Conquest already occupies his highest possible role. There is no greater honor than being the Empire's ultimate weapon.
Make my death painful.
No. No.
I am capable of so much more, and no one sees it.
You have work to do yet.
The idea that Conquest might desire acknowledgement, or even something resembling companionship, would not just be misunderstood, it would be incomprehensible within Thragg's framework. This creates a tragic symmetry. Both see value in the other, but neither truly understands the other. Thragg sees Conquest as an ideological equal in form, but not in rank, a near-perfect Viltrumite who simply lacks his authority. Conquest sees Thragg as the ultimate authority, but not as someone who understands him, only as someone who gives his existence structure. Their relationship is defined not by what is shared, but by what is missing. There is respect, but no connection. There is hierarchy, but no understanding. There is purpose, but no recognition of the individual behind it. And so Conquest dies as he lived, feared, powerful, and fundamentally alone, while Thragg continues forward, never fully grasping that the Viltrumite he may have respected the most was never truly what he believed him to be.
No one talks to me.